The internet is currently witnessing the most brutal, calculated, and personal takedown in the history of hip-hop feuds. We all know 50 Cent is the undisputed king of petty, a man who turned trolling into a multi-million-dollar psychological weapon. But no one, absolutely no one, expected him to go this far. The headlines are screaming, social media is in a meltdown, and the Harris family is reportedly in a state of pure chaos. The reason? King Harris' girlfriend has been spotted in the inner circle of his greatest enemy. 50 Cent. This isn't just a random sighting at a club. This is a strategic move that has sent shockwaves through the industry. For months, King Harris, the son of the legendary T.I., has been playing a dangerous game, poking the bear and disrespecting 50 Cent's legacy. But as the old saying goes, if you play with fire, you're going to get burned. And right now, King Harris isn't just burning his entire reputation is being reduced to ashes. But the betrayal by his closest companion is only the tip of the iceberg. Behind the scenes, a darkest secret has been unearthed, a secret so damaging, so explosive, that it threatens to strip King Harris of his street cred forever. We're talking about leaked documents, hidden past encounters, and a truth that the Harris family has tried to bury for years. 50 Cent didn't just find the skeleton in the closet. He put it on a billboard for the whole world to see. Tonight, we are diving deep into the trenches of this war. We're breaking down the footage of the sighting that changed everything, exploring the psychological warfare 50 Cent is using to dismantle a young man's ego, and exposing the one secret that King Harris prayed would never see the light of day. Is this the end of the king persona? Is the Harris dynasty crumbling from within? Strap in, because the truth is far more twisted than the rumors. The history of hip-hop is littered with the remains of careers that tried to challenge the giants of the industry. But what we are witnessing between King Harris and 50 Cent isn't just a standard rap beef. It is a calculated demolition of a legacy. To understand how we got to the point where King Harris's girlfriend was spotted with his arch-nemesis, we first have to look at the massive ego clash that ignited this firestorm. King Harris, the son of the legendary T.I., has spent years trying to convince the world that he is a product of the streets. Despite being born into one of the wealthiest families in Atlanta, this identity crisis became his greatest vulnerability. And 50 Cent, the master of psychological warfare, saw the opening he needed to strike. The feud didn't start with a secret. It started with a lack of respect. When King Harris took to social media to utter disrespectful comments about 50 Cent's late mother, he broke an unwritten code in the industry. You don't touch family. 50 Cent, a man who survived 9 bullets and dismantled icons like Ja Rule and Rick Ross, didn't react with immediate anger. Instead, he reacted with a cold, terrifying silence. That silence was the sound of 50 Cent gathering intelligence. He wasn't looking for a comeback verse. He was looking for the darkest secret that would dismantle King Harris's entire gangster persona for years. King Harris has portrayed himself as a rebel and a street soldier, often clashing with his own father, T.I., on camera to prove his toughness. But the secret that 50 Cent allegedly uncovered suggests that this entire persona is a carefully constructed lie. Rumors began to circulate within the industry that 50 Cent had obtained paperwork, the most feared word in the rap world. This paperwork reportedly suggests that during a previous legal encounter, King Harris didn't hold it down like a street soldier. Instead, the whispers claim he used his family's influence and made certain statements to authorities to ensure his own freedom. In the world, King Harris claims to represent being a snitch or a protected citizen is a social death sentence. 50 Cent began dropping breadcrumbs of this information, posting cryptic messages about spoiled kids playing, gangster, and paperwork that doesn't lie. As this dark secret began to bubble under the surface, the tension within the Harris household reached a breaking point. T.I., a man who has spent decades building the Grand Hustle empire, found himself caught between defending his son and maintaining his own legendary reputation. 50 Cent, knowing this, turned the pressure up. He didn't just target King, he targeted the foundation of the family. He began posting old, controversial photos of King's mother, Tiny Harris, effectively mocking the family's history. This was a tactical move to make King Harris emotional, and it worked. King began spiraling, posting erratic videos, screaming at his phone, and making more threats. he was playing right into 50 Cent's hands. 50 Cent's strategy is simple. Make your enemy angry so they become sloppy. But the real Oppenheimer moment of this feud came when the focus shifted to King Harris's personal life. King's girlfriend has been his most vocal supporter throughout his various legal and social media battles. She was the one who stood by him when the public mocked his standing on business rants. However, loyalty is a fragile thing when faced with the King of Petty. Sources began reporting that King's inner circle was being infiltrated. 50 Cent, who is known for befriending the associates and exes of his enemies to gain leverage, reportedly made a move that no one saw coming. The sighting of King Harris's girlfriend at a high-profile 50 Cent event wasn't an accident. It was a message. Think about the psychological impact of that moment. You are a young man trying to prove you are the king of your city. Your darkest legal secrets are being threatened with exposure by a billionaire mogul. And then you see the person you trust most spotted in the camp of the man trying to destroy you. It is the ultimate betrayal. Industry insiders suggest that 50 Cent didn't just invite her. He reportedly showed her the very evidence he was planning to release. The theory is that once she saw the darkest secret, the truth about King's street credibility, her loyalty shifted. She realized she wasn't standing behind a king, but behind a facade that was about to crumble. This is where the flow of the story takes a darker turn. The spotting wasn't just a photo op, it was the final piece of 50 Cent's puzzle. By bringing King's girlfriend into his orbit, 50 Cent effectively isolated King Harris. He showed the world that even those closest to King don't believe in him anymore. The darkest secret isn't just about paperwork. It's about the fundamental lack of authenticity in everything King Harris stands for. 50 Cent is essentially saying, if your own woman won't stand by you once she knows the truth, why should the fans? The Harris family is in damage control. Mode Tita is reportedly trying to mediate behind the scenes, but 50 Cent has closed the door on negotiations. The secret is out, the girlfriend is gone, and King Harris is left standing on a platform that is rapidly sinking. The Prince of Atlanta is finding out the hard way that when you play a game of chess with a grandmaster, you don't just lose your pieces, you lose your throne. But what exactly was in that paperwork? And how did 50 Cent manage to flip the one person King Harris thought would never leave? The answers lie in the documents that were about to be leaked to the public. Documents that would not only change how people see King Harris, but might also cast a shadow over T.I.'s own legacy. The war is no longer about social media posts. It is about the survival of a dynasty. We will look at the specific details of the betrayal and the moment the darkest secret was finally whispered into the ears of the public. The silence that followed the initial rumors of King Harris's darkest secret was deafening. But in the world of 50 Cent, silence is usually just the calm before a devastating storm. As the internet scrambled to find out what could possibly be so damaging that it would make a son of hip-hop royalty tremble, the King of Petty began to leak the receipts. We aren't just talking about hearsay or he said, she said gossip. We are talking about the one thing that can end a career in the rap industry faster than a bad album. The paperwork. In the streets, paperwork refers to official court documents, police reports, or witness statements that suggest someone has cooperated with the authorities, what the culture calls For a young man like King Harris, who has built his entire brand on standing on business and being a rebel against the system, the mere suggestion of him cooperating with the police is a death blow to his credibility. 50 Cent, with his decades of experience in dismantling legends, didn't just dump the documents all at once. He started by posting blurred images of legal headers, captions that mocked King's tough guy persona, and cryptic warnings to T.I. to come get your boy before I show the world who he really is. The darkest secret reportedly stems from a legal incident involving King Harris, where the stakes were high. The allegation driven by 50 Cent's relentless trolling is that when the handcuffs clicked shut, the King persona vanished, and the privileged son took over. The documents allegedly show that King Harris's legal team, perhaps with the influence of his powerful father, navigated the situation in a way that protected King, but potentially compromised the code of the streets he claims to represent. When 50 Cent whispered the word informant into the digital atmosphere, the foundations of the Harris family's grand hustle empire began to shake. But while the paperwork was the weapon, the girlfriend's betrayal was the killing blow. Loyalty is the currency of the hip-hop world, and King Harris's girlfriend was supposed to be his ride or die. She had been there through every viral outburst, every social media fight, and every legal hurdle. However, the dynamics shifted the moment she was spotted in the vicinity of 50 Cent's G-Unit headquarters, and later at an exclusive event hosted by the mogul himself. The industry began to buzz with a singular question. How did 50 Cent get to her? The answer lies in 50's legendary ability to play the long game. Sources suggest that 50 Cent didn't just reach out to her to cause trouble. He reached out to save her. The narrative being spun in the inner circles is that 50 Cent presented her with the darkest secret firsthand. He showed her the evidence of King's alleged cooperation with the authorities, showing her that the man she was defending was a fraud. 50 Cent reportedly told her, "You're loyal to a ghost. This kid isn't who he says he is, and when the ship sinks, he's going to use his daddy's money to float while you drown." When a woman realizes the man she loves is living a lie, her loyalty doesn't just fade, it turns into resentment. The spotting wasn't a coincidence. It was a public declaration of her exit from the Harris camp. Seeing her in 50 Cent's orbit was a signal to King Harris that his fortress had been breached. His enemy didn't just attack his reputation, he walked into his house and took his most trusted ally. The psychological impact on King Harris was immediate. His social media activity became even more erratic. He began posting videos that felt less like tough talk and more like a desperate plea for relevance. He was a young man watching his world crumble in real time, orchestrated by a man who treats destruction like a hobby. 50 Cent's strategy here is a masterclass in divide and conquer. By exposing the secret and flipping the girlfriend, he isolated King Harris from both the streets and his personal support system. Even T.I., the rubber band man himself, found his hands tied. How do you defend your son when the evidence is being broadcast to millions? How do you maintain your own King of the South status when your son is being labeled a protected citizen by one of the most respected and feared figures in New York hip-hop? The tension between T.I. and 50 Cent reached a boiling point, but 50 Cent remained unfazed. He leaned into the chaos, even going as far as to offer King Harris's girlfriend a career opportunity. Further twisting the knife in King's back, the darkest secret also touched on the family's reality TV past. 50 Cent began to point out the hypocrisy of a kid who grew up in front of cameras on a scripted show, trying to claim he was raised by the struggle. He mocked King's Waffle House incident and his various run-ins with the law as performative gangsterism. He suggested that King's entire life was a grand hustle in the worst way possible. For King Harris, this was the ultimate humiliation. He wasn't just being called a snitch, he was being called a fake. In the rap world, you can recover from a lot of things. You can recover from a flop album, a bad relationship, or even a loss in a rap battle. But you can almost never recover from being exposed. The situation has moved beyond a simple internet beef. It is now a full-blown crisis for the Harris family. King's girlfriend has reportedly stopped answering his calls, and the leaked paperwork is being analyzed by every major hip-hop blog and YouTuber in the country. The prince is without his queen. His kingdom is under siege. And the darkest secret is no longer a secret, it's a headline. King Harris is standing at a crossroads. Does he continue to fight a losing battle against a billionaire who never loses? Or does he finally admit that the king persona was a mask that didn't fit? But the story doesn't end with a broken heart and a leaked document. There is one final move in 50 Cent's playbook, a move that involves the industry's reaction and the final nail in the coffin. As we move into part 3, we will look at how the rest of the rap world reacted to the paperwork, the final confrontation between T.I. and 50 Cent, and what the future holds for a young man who tried to play a game he wasn't prepared for. The fallout is just beginning, and the King of Petty is just getting started. The dust had barely settled on the paperwork leaks and the sighting of King Harris' girlfriend in the G-Unit camp when the rest of the hip-hop industry began to weigh. In an era where social media clout is the ultimate currency, a public execution of a persona, especially one as loud as King Harris, becomes a spectator sport. Every major podcast, from Joe Budden to DJ Academics, began dissecting the darkest secret. The consensus was becoming dangerously clear. King Harris had committed the cardinal sin of rap. He had played a character he couldn't back up, and he had done it against a man who specializes in unmasking frauds. As the paperwork started circulating on every major blog, the street credibility that King Harris fought so hard to establish evaporated overnight. Fellow rappers who once stood by the Harris family began to distance themselves. In the music industry, association is everything, and no one wanted to be linked to a spoiled kid accused of being a protected citizen. The darkest secret wasn't just a personal blow. It was a commercial disaster. Club promoters began canceling appearances, and features that were once in the works were suddenly delayed indefinitely. King Harris was finding out that when 50 Cent labels you a fake, the industry listens. But the most intense part of this saga wasn't the music hit, was the family dynamic. T.I., the king of the South, could no longer sit on the sidelines while his son's future was being incinerated. Reports began to surface of a heated behind-the-scenes confrontation between T.I. and 50 Cent. T.I. has always been a man of words, a philosopher of the trap, but 50 Cent doesn't play by the rules of logic or respect. 50 Cent reportedly told T.I. that this wasn't about him, it was about a kid who didn't know his place. The tension between the two legends reached a breaking point, with T.I. trying to protect his legacy and 50 Cent reminding him that legacy is earned, not inherited. This was a battle of two different eras, the era of the grand hustle versus the era of get rich or die trying. While the fathers clashed, the situation with King Harris's girlfriend took an even more bizarre turn. After being spotted with 50 Cent's circle, she finally broke her silence on a live stream. She didn't just confirm the breakup, she confirmed the darkest secret. She admitted that seeing the reality behind the king persona made it impossible for her to stay. She spoke about the pressure of maintaining a gangster image for the cameras while living a life of luxury and protection behind the scenes. Her testimony was the final nail in the coffin. It wasn't just an enemy-attacking king anymore, it was the person who knew him best. Confirming that the king was wearing no clothes, 50 Cent, sensing victory, delivered his final fatality. He released a satirical video mocking King Harris, standing on business catchphrase, overlaying it with the leaked paperwork and clips of King's girlfriend laughing at his events. It was a masterclass in humiliation. 50 Cent didn't have to throw a single punch. He simply used King's own life as a weapon against him. This is the 50 Cent blueprint. Isolate the target, expose their secrets, take their allies, and then laugh while the world watches. For King Harris, the Prince of Atlanta, the humiliation was complete. He had gone from a viral sensation to a cautionary tale in a matter of weeks. The fallout extended to the very heart of the Harris family business. T.I. and Tiny had spent years building a brand based on family loyalty and hustle. But with King's darkest secret now public knowledge, that brand was tarnished. Fans began to look back at their reality shows with a skeptical eye, questioning what else was scripted or protected. The irony of the situation was palpable. T.I. had spent his career trying to move away from the streets into the boardroom, while his son had spent his life trying to move from the boardroom into the streets. In the end, they both got caught in the crossfire of a man who lives in both worlds and masters both. So, where does King Harris go from here? The darkest secret is no longer a secret. It's his identity. In the world of hip-hop, you can come back from almost anything except being exposed as a fraud. King Harris attempted to post a few more tough videos, but the comment sections were flooded with emojis of rats and paperwork. The king persona was dead. He was forced to retreat from the spotlight. His girlfriend was gone, and his father was left to pick up the pieces of a fractured family reputation. 50 Cent, on the other hand, simply moved on to his next target, having once again proven that he is the most dangerous man to beef with in the digital age. The lesson of this saga is one that will be studied by aspiring rappers for years to come. It's a story about the dangers of performative gangsterism and the terrifying efficiency of 50 Cent's psychological warfare. It shows that in the world of high-stakes fame, your darkest secret is only a Google search away if you provoke the wrong person. King Harris thought he was playing a game of checkers, but 50 Cent was playing 4D chess. By the time King realized he was in a war, he had already lost his queen, his castle, and his crown. As we wrap up this deep dive, the Harris vs. 50 Cent war serves as a grim reminder. Reputation takes a lifetime to build, but only one spotted girlfriend and a few pages of paperwork to destroy. King Harris may eventually find a new path, perhaps away from the gangster image that failed him so miserably. But the Prince of Atlanta will forever be remembered as the kid who tried to stand on business against a man who owns the building. The dynasty has been shaken, the secret is exposed, and the King of Petty remains undefeated. Wait a minute, before we reveal exactly what was written in that leaked paperwork, I need to know your side. Is 50 Cent going too far by involving King's girlfriend? Or is this just all's fair in love and war? Drop a Team 50 or Team Harris in the comments right now. And if you're enjoying this deep dive into the biggest fallout of 2026, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. We've got the exclusive footage of the confrontation coming up next, and you don't want to miss it.